Having reviewed your recent repair requests against your warranty schedule, we found the repairs needed are not covered on yours. So yeah, there's a bit of a story behind this one and we'll go through it with you. Here we are at Barnstable train station. Just dropped our subscriber Leo off to get his train back to near London. He's just sold me this lovely Peugeot 2008 on a 19 plate. Drove it up for me. I've just dropped him back to the train station like I said. So let's get this back to the unit and have a good look over it. We'll have a good chance to have a drive. Only 37,000 miles. So yeah, there's a bit of a story behind this one and we'll go through it with you. So here's the car, the 2008. Massive thanks to Leo again. He's on his way back up to London on the train there. I did explain to him when he messaged me initially that my offer might not be as strong because of the transportation costs to get it picked up. And he said, well, how about if I drive up to you and go back on train station? I said, go back on the train. I said, that would be ace, and offered him another £300 for doing so. So he earned another £300 out of doing it. I don't know how much his train ticket cost him, but worked well for both parties. But yeah, massive thanks to him obviously for thinking of me and for making the effort to bring it up here. So a bit of a story behind this car. He was chatting away to me about it today. Yeah, and it's a bit of the morals of the story is buying from main dealers is not always your best bet in terms of customer service. So he bought this car. Initially the dealer said, we want to buy back your old car, like so often happens. And he said, well, I haven't had it that long, because he always goes for new cars. He said, I don't want to be in negative equity on the car, so I don't really want to change it yet. And they said, no problem at all, we can deal with that. And he went in to look and found this car. Did a deal on it. They told me I had a full service history as well. So he did a deal based on his negative equity being sorted and a full service history on the car. Went to collect the car, checked the service history, and they said, oh, some of it's been misplaced. So that was the first problem he had with it. Then he got home and had a look at his paperwork. Well, sorry, on the way home he drove the car and realised that it was pulling quite heavily to the left. The steering was slightly out. He thought, I'll have a closer look over the car. Had a look at it, had a look in the engine bay. Oil didn't look like it had been changed, and it was supposed to have a service before he picked it up. He then looked at the paperwork and they just tacked his negative equity on top. So he was still actually having to pay that. He thought they were going to eat it some other way. And to be honest, I would do if you described it in that way to me. Obviously, he would have just waited a little bit longer until he was no longer in negative equity to do the deal. But they just tacked it on top. So at this point, he's feeling quite rightly quite hard done by. And he hasn't got a lot of trust in them. So he says, what I'll do is I'll take it to my local Peugeot dealership. The other one was presumably further away. Take it to my local Peugeot dealership and get them to check it over. So he took it to Peugeot. They went over the car and came back and told him that on inspection they found, using a tool you can on these, I'll maybe show you in a second, on these 1.2 PureTechs, they used their tool to tell whether the cam belt was okay or not on it at all. What they do is basically put a little gauge in it, tells you the width of the cam belt. The cam belt's on its way out on this one. It's not within the tolerances that we accept. So there was a problem with that. The tracking did need to be done, and I think he also found that it was in need of discs and pads. It was very soon to be in need of discs and pads. So he got hold of the main dealer, and apparently they just weren't interested at all. He tried to said he was going to try and claim off the warranty of the cam belt, and they said, oh, because there's missing services, which he wasn't expecting because he was told a full service history car, because it's missing services, they're not going to do it under the warranty, or that the warranty just wouldn't approve it. Anyway, after much toing and froing, he was getting absolutely nowhere, so he just bit the bullet and had the cam belt done himself. He had a bill for £1,600, which I've got a copy of, for having the cam belt done and the brakes and the oil and filter. So yeah, not a very good experience at all. He's not happy with it at all. Obviously daft, because he's had 2 cars off him, but he'd never use them again, and he's gone to buying Skodas now. So, and he was saying he watches my videos quite regularly. Him and his best mate watch my videos quite regularly, and he was saying, I can't believe the value of the cars you sell and how much you'll do for those people versus how much I was spending and how much they'll do for me. And I said, the trouble with it is in my business, there's one person makes the decisions, that's me. If I decide that something is going to get done, it gets done, or I want to split the cost with the customer or whatever. That's what happens. They've always got these light up roofs, haven't they? But in the problem with the new car dealerships, the franchise and so forth, is you've got sales and you've got the workshop, and there's probably an argument going on who's going to foot the bill on this. Is the workshop going to foot the bill? Is sales going to foot the bill? Sales are saying no, we don't want to eat the bill on it. Workshop saying, well, it's got nothing to do with us, sales. You sold the car, and there's a to-in and fro-in as to who's going to do it, and then someone has to approve it. Whereas here it's literally just I make the decision, am I doing it or am I not doing it? And it's that's as quick as it is. So yeah, lovely condition, really lovely condition. He tells me it's the 130 brake horsepower, and it certainly feels it. It's got plenty of punch. Really popular cars my way because you've got that sort of added bit of ride height, but nothing outrageous. It's not so big, it's tough to get down the lanes, but it has that clearance if you need to go off on the sides a bit in the lanes. Just makes things a bit better for you on that front. You've got the 1.2, which is obviously nice and economical. I think he's on about 50 miles to the gallon on the way down here. Road tax isn't horrendous, insurance isn't horrendous. They're just nice little practical cars. So, and obviously non-offensive whites, nice spec, 6-speed manual. Yeah, lovely condition. And obviously now that cam belt's been done, and it's got a good amount of service history with it now, it should be a fairly easy sell for me. Quite new for me, obviously being 2019. But yeah, massive thanks to Leo yet again, and to all the subscribers thinking of me when it comes to selling their cars, that have been sending me messages. Remember, you do it via our Instagram, website, telephone of course. But yeah, massive thanks, really helps support. He's been watching all the way from my Alfa Ragazzi days, so he's a proper full-blown chopper. So yeah, we'll get that one. Doesn't need an awful lot. New MOT, get it all cleaned up. I'll check when that last service was. Might need an oil and filter now. Can't remember if it needs one or not. All the alloys are in lovely condition. No alloy refurb, which is a nice thing. Can't be doing with any more alloy refurb at the moment. Yeah, new MOT, potentially a service, valet, get it up for sale, he says, when he's got a raft of other cars that need all the same things doing to them. So this reprobate's here again with his crew. There's another one around here somewhere. They come in mob-handed these days, trying to strong-arm me into discounts on cars, I think. So he's taking...
3 of us piling out of a 7 Series.
Yes, that is a bit intimidating, to be fair. I do like your 7 Series. It's a proper wafter, isn't it? This is your raffle car, yeah?
That's it.
£1 a ticket, you said?
£1 a ticket, or buy 20, get 10 free.
There we go.
There's not many left.
There's a nice bit of motoring. So Joe is taking away the Alfa Romeo, because I have once again chickened out on retailing the car. And this fits in nicely with all Joe's sporty and luxury stuff. Have you had many Alfas in your life, Joe?
I've had a few of the old 159 sport wagons. I think they're gorgeous. I love them.
They are, yeah, they're lovely.
Especially the little 2.4 diesel. Yeah, I do really like them, but then you just have problems with them.
Joe's got loads of footage of me being an absolute Alfa Romeo bore, haven't you? Yeah, on this car.
We can edit that down a lot.
You can edit that down a lot. I was literally boring the tits off him as to what... am I allowed to say that? Yeah. Yeah. As to what the... people are complaining about the language recently, aren't they? As to what's special about this Alfa and why the modifications that are done on it are worth doing. So he's going to take that away and leave me with the more run-of-the-mill stuff, and take his crew away with him as well.
I would have taken this hybrid if he'd let me have it as well, but...
Yeah, you can have the hybrid if you want a hybrid. Should we go and do it, talk money on the hybrid? There he goes. And the boys are following him in the 7 Series. Look at the little cheesy grins on them. Bless them. They're having a little day out. A little day out and driving the boss's car. How does it get any better? Rightio, better go back to some proper work now. So I've got email in from Exeter Gearboxes who have already fixed the X-Trail. It's only been down there a few days. Sent me pictures of what's failed. So the bearing here failed, which is the... let me just check for you what that was again. That was the... failed pinion bearing, and then that subsequently damaged the drum here. Well, I don't really know what I'm looking at, but apparently it damaged the drum. I imagine we're looking at this scoring damage here, which is causing the problems. It's cost me $4,700 including the VAT. Now what I've got to do is put this into a claim with Warranty Wise and see how we get on, and I shall report back. So our Warranty Wise decision is in. Having reviewed your recent repair request against your warranty schedule, we've found the repairs needed are not covered on your existing plan. To help you understand why, we're giving you a few details below. Automatic transmission. We're aware your vehicle is fitted with a continuous variable transmission, which you are very common for failing, and therefore they're excluded on all levels of cover. Unfortunately, inherent, common and regular occurring manufacturing faults are excluded on all plans, therefore we're unable to authorise your request. Please refer to your booklet for terms and conditions. So should we have a look at the booklet a second? So Platinum. Parts included. All this level of warranty, it includes all mechanical and electrical parts of your vehicle, excluding those parts listed in section E, all items listed in C additions, and D other items included in this level Platinum. So let's have a quick look at section E. What does your warranty not include? And as specified in your warranty, it does not include a vehicle, doesn't have an MOT, excise duty, not been serviced, doesn't have a DVLA, has an insurance category on it, it's been used as taxi, has been modified. Mister, right in front of me there, wasn't it? In orange. Your warranty does not include any breakdown or premature failure that occurs due to a known inherent manufacturer defect with the vehicle that is known about within the vehicle motor trade. So they would need to prove to me that the output bearing is a known manufacturer's defect. So that's what I think my angle will be. I'm going to ask them to prove to me that the output bearing is a known inherent manufacturing defect with the vehicle. So I've spoken to my account manager. I've informed her of what my situation is with this. Is that it's all well and good saying that a CVT unit is a known fault, but their wording specifically says a known manufacturing fault. So if they can provide evidence that that bearing is a known manufacturing fault within a CVT gearbox, because I don't think you can claim that CVT gearbox as a whole is a known fault for those cars you won't cover. There's various different components in it, so you have to specify which component it is that is the known manufacturing fault, as per their own terms. It says known manufacturing fault. So if they can prove that that bearing is a known manufacturing fault, as in they're collapsing prematurely, then they might have a case. But unless they can do that, I don't think they have. Yeah, it's a difficult one, isn't it? I do find it hard to have a policy that says it covers all electrical and mechanical components until such time as we deem that electrical and mechanical component to be a known fault, and then we won't cover it. In which case, when you put the registration in of the car, their system comes and tells you what vehicle it is, and it tells you it's an automatic. So then there should be a pop-up and go, on this vehicle, we don't cover X, Y, Z. I think it's kind of a, I guess they could claim it's not a rewriting of the terms of the contract you're entering into if in their terms and conditions it says they don't cover known faults, but it's a very generic term, isn't it? If you're going to say you don't cover known faults on a vehicle, let's have a web page you can go to or something you can go to that says, right, on this vehicle we don't cover this, on this vehicle we don't cover that because they're known faults on that vehicle, and you go fair enough. But just to have that as a, I don't think there's many judges out there would be happy with that would live with that, such a generic statement. So we'll see. I'll update you how we get on with it. I will say, previously, warranty-wise, have always treated me really well, and they've done a number of warranty claims without any hassle. They've done some where we've entered into a bit of a negotiation, and we've both covered a bit of cost, and it's financially stacked up well for me that way. So I'm going to hold out hope we can come to some kind of compromise on this, and I'll let you know how we get on.